I have to stand and talk about this bill because I think this bill is far too loose for what we're really needing to accomplish with this. I believe anybody who forcibly does something to a pregnant woman that causes a miscarriage should be punished. But this bill goes beyond that. The scope is too far, and by using the word person instead of victim, we are negating other rules, other laws within the state, because the language that this bill puts out is, for the purposes of this section, an embryo or fetus must be counted as a person. Everywhere that we look on the counting scores, an embryo or fetus is not called a person. This takes this far further than it should have been. The Court of Appeals case that this bill comes out of, P.V. Ambrose, is a nauseating case to even read. The defendant assaulted his pregnant, handicapped girlfriend, wrestled her out of her wheelchair because she had previously had a stroke and was wheelchair bound. He threatened her with a knife. He punched her in the abdomen, and he held her head underwater in a ditch. Mr. Ambrose intentionally committed these acts against the victims, the mother and the fetus. In their ruling, the Court of Appeals did the right thing, and they scored him with a 10 in V09. But let me just read you two parts of that ruling. In this case, the trial court noted conduct by defendant that placed the fetus at risk of bodily injury or loss of life, not only as an indirect result of the risk of death or harm to the mother, but also as a direct result of blows to the mother's abdominal area. Under the circumstances of this case, and without declaring the fetus, in this case, to be a person under the law, we conclude the trial court did not err in counting the fetus as a victim. The third judge in the Court of Appeals affirmed this, but went on further to say, I concur with both the reasoning and the result of the majority opinion. I write separately to emphasize that the Michigan legislature, as the final arbitrator of public policy in the state, has clearly enunciated that a fetus can be a victim under Michigan law. Consistent with Michigan law and Michigan's public policy, the learned trial court concluded that a fetus was a victim for purposes of scoring offense variable 9. I would affirm the majority and the trial court's well-reasoned decision. The trial court did what it was supposed to do. By adopting the language in House Bill 4500, we are taking this much further than it needs to go. The judges already have the availability and responsibility to do what they can and what they will do in every court case that threatens an embryo or a fetus. The word person needs to be changed to victim. If that were changed, I would support this bill, but it is not, and therefore I urge my colleagues to vote no on House Bill 4500 because we do not need this in Michigan law. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Representative Faris.